Back with another video, just chart reviews. Interesting week. It's been green the entire week for a change. That's been good. What did we get? Like 30% or something? So 35% from the lows at, just under 30, and we spiked to 40. If you were on Binance Tether Perps, though, it did spike to 48, but that was the only one that did. So here, which makes sense, right? Because that's the underside of that whole sort of rounded top formation that we had. So that's from the dump off. So it spiked all the way up to there. So all those people got liquidated, like all these. So there would have been a whole bunch of people shorting through here, and it just a stop cascade all the way up until this level here. But most of the other charts on Bitcoin pairs stopped at around 40K, right? So what are we? What are we doing? If you're looking at the chart as it is now, it's still bearish. This little section here, obviously bullish, but overall we're still, so here, up, down, it's still like that, right? So we're still creating lower highs and lower lows. So for me to get bullish from a technical perspective, we want to be up here and bouncing around and then shooting off. But I mean, this is still good. This is still healthy. If you drop down to the 4 hour, obviously it's broken trend. So I mean, wrong one. Here we go. So here's trend. There's the EMAs as well. It's zigging, zagging all the way down. Then it's busted through that. So we've created our first higher high on the 4 hour. What we want now is it to come back to a level, come back here, find support, and then shoot off. We haven't seen that yet. If you go back to a higher time frame, though, it's, as I said before, it's still bearish, but so it's rejected the 200. I'll just come back in here. So it's rejected the 200. You've also got like between here and here, now that we've got the close in, nice volume on it. So the breakout was quite strong, but we've got this, there's a hidden bear div, right? So that ain't great, but that's on the daily. Huge wick. Bears have pushed it back down from 40, so not awesome. But on the 4 hour, it looks bullish. So you've got an upwards trend and prices bouncing off to 50, and then the 200. Here's the 20, which is the middle of the Bollinger Band. So getting long here is kind of in the middle of no man's land. There is some support around here. If you wanted to get in long on this entire run, I mean, around here, which would keep in with trend, would be good. I'm going to be looking for something around here. So that's the 50 and the 200 cross, which is also around the 618 and the 50% pullback. I mean, just this candle here is quite bearish. Obviously, it's bearish engulfing. So, going long after a bearish engulfing is pretty risky, especially considering the volume on that move down was bigger than the volume on the move going up. If you look at the hourly, so this happened at 4 a.m. my time, 5 a.m. So obviously I was asleep and missed it all, but you can see there were signs that this was going to reverse. So you've got bearish divergence. You're outside the Bollinger Bands here, and then you're inside the Bollinger Bands on this one. So this is called an M top. Then you've got a high test candle, which is rejecting the 40. This was also an SFP reversal. If you're looking at the RSI, it's overheated here, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to reverse just because it's high. And a high RSI just means that the bulls are in control, and they were. And then RSI is starting to get weaker, so bears are starting to gain control, and then breaks down below. So that's that here. But if you were looking to short, there was a lot of confluence there. Missed it, obviously. No trades for me, but I don't think I would have taken it anyway, to be honest, because momentum's starting to shift. In terms of the range, we're in the top half of this crab, which is good. So hanging out in here, we're above the 50. So hopefully we get bounces or some sort of stability around here for a move up. If we start falling down below the midline again, then bears are going to start getting more vocal. Below here, it's cooked. It's all bearish down here, and up here is all bullish. So if you like trading sideways markets, then this is the area for you. The thing that I'm looking for is what's going to happen in this area. Here is no man's land for me. It's here, so I want to see rejections and bounces off this area, and then trying to get long. That is concerning, though. That wick is quite long, so not great. We want to see it recover. Hopefully it does. So, but if we can get above here by the end of the week, that would be really healthy. Before all this, I was hoping for. Well, I thought that we would go sideways until at least October, and then finish the year strong. So November and December are usually really strong, bullish for price on Bitcoin historically. So I really wasn't expecting much happening here, but we are still bearish. I'm not really liking it. So does this draw us anything? Sort of. Kind of lines up, but doesn't. Yeah, it's really the 200 and the 50, which is more excellent. Price has touched it twice now and rejected. We want to get above it. So it's really back down to the day traders. So yeah, this setup's looking all right. We just need to wait and see what it does. Because right now it's just consolidating after that dump down. Ethereum is similar. There's that nice high test there, which SFP'd all this stuff over here. If you went long, if you went short off this one, you would have got taken out by this wick. So that's an SFP on that one and an SFP on this one. So, but Ethereum and Bitcoin are totally correlated. So, if one dumps, the other's going to dump. So from previous videos, I wanted to see this fall down to the previous all-time highs. So we almost got there, stopped out. Well, it stopped going down here. We still might, though. I mean, we might, now that we've double topped here and hit that, we might go down from here. We still it's the same case with Bitcoin, right? We've gotten, where's my paintbrush? So up, down, here we go, like that, right? It's just lower highs and lower lows. So it's a downtrend on a daily chart. So daily charts take ages to play out. Like this is a week. That's what, a week and a half, and that's a week and a half too. So it's like June, and now it's almost August. Right, it's months in here. So this has still got time to get all the way down here. Get rid of that. Go back to my pointer. Here's October, November. So totally reasonable for it to sort of, meander down. No, I'll draw that again. Meander down, something like that, maybe, and then bounce, and then bounce, and then come up, and then do that. So I have like this rounded bottom sort of thing, which some people will probably call it a inverse head and shoulders, but it could do something like that. Obviously, it's still too early to tell. Here's that trend line which I've drawn in weeks ago. We want to get above this. So if it stays within this area, it's just going to go sideways and sort of be a nothing burger market with the crab. Start breaking down to here, the F maxis are going to get a bit nervous. Right now, it's sort of in, again, where we were a month ago, and it's really a day trader's market. The 4-hour trend here is the same as Bitcoin. So if you wanted to get long, wait for a rejection. Like here's the 50 and the 200, which is almost about to cross. So those of you that believe in the golden cross, it's about to happen. What I find is in the past that when price breaks through both of these EMAs, comes back, bounces off, it retests, it usually keeps going up. And when I say usually, I don't mean like 90% of the time. I mean way less than that. You can't be faulted for taking it though. Make sure you use, your stops, and only risk, 1% of your account on it. So nothing crazy, because you can always add in later, right? Scale in if you're worried about it. See, just this one here. Look at the wick on it; it's huge. So massive bearish pressure. So it tried to close up here, but it didn't. So yeah, I don't really like it. If it closed up here, wow, we were off to the races. I would imagine, but no, we didn't. So let's look at some other things. Let's look at Solana. So Solana's back inside the triangle. It was out for a while, back in, but it's a similar story. We've got this, that's a massive doji. Rejected the 50, so, I mean, this is more obvious. Go back to my brush. So down, 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 right? Until we get out of here, it's bearish. I mean, you can't be faulted for shorting that. FTT token is the same, huge wick. That'll probably come back down like that to hit support, which is actually not there. Now that I look at it again, it's probably more like this. Here we go. I mean, most of these alt charts are going to look the same. Very similar. Where's MATIC? Let's have a look. MATIC looks a bit different, but it still hasn't broken this area. It's broken through support, come up, and now it's rejecting from the underside. So still no higher highs yet. Anything on the day? So, if you were awake at 2 a.m. would have been a good short, but the 4-hour chart is bullish though from this section here. So the daily says to short it, but the 4-hour and the hourly will say, nah, keep going up. So until we lose this area, then both of those time frames aren't confluent with each other, and I don't like that. Like if the daily says that we're bearish, but the 4-hour says that we're bullish, I usually stay out. What I like to see is multiple time frames saying the same thing. It just increases your edge. Well, it increases, your probability of, your trade playing out. Let's start looking at the metaverse. Axie Infinity is super top heavy. I fully expect this to come back a bit further. Probably around here. That'd be good to get long if you're interested in that. SPL token, that is the Smooth Love Potion, which is what you get when you play the game. That's the token you get for winning matches and things. Yeah, that's bearish as well. Coming back to the 50 probably. So let's draw it in probably around here. Sand is another one that's coming back to another good level. So all the metaverse tokens seem to be following each other, which makes sense. Engine Coin is still stuck in this triangle. It'll be interesting to see what happens when it gets to here. So does it break below or above? Um, and that really depends on the bigger players or the ones that have the more hype in the gaming sector at the moment, because they're all following each other, right? So, um, another interesting one was Cope. That's done a 4x from the lows a few days ago, a week. So if you could have got in at about 55 cents and it tagged $2 during that pump yesterday. So if you're not sure what Cope is, it was an airdrop coin. So the majority of the holders haven't even paid anything for this. So, if you're wondering why everyone's still bullish on Cope, it's because they probably didn't even buy the coins that they've got. The ones that hate Cope probably bought it up here. I mean, I bought some up here to be honest, but I got some much lower. But even still, with that pump, that's bearish. Like we've rejected that level, we've rejected this level. So, I mean, to be fair, the entire alt market is correlated. So, like, this is the large cap alts, this is the mid cap alts, and this is the shit perp. Like, you can't tell me those charts aren't all the same, right? DeFi perp even looks the same. It hasn't recovered from this level yet. We're still hitting the 50, got the pin bar. It's probably going to come back. What's another one we can look at? Look at curve. Again, it's the same, right? So you got this downtrend. Curve needs to break that. And then once we break that, you got to get about 50 in the 200. So try not to get over enthusiastic. I realized that this pump here was great, and it's good to have a week of all green for once instead of seeing red. But like, I'm cautiously optimistic. It could be like the disbelief phase. I'm in disbelief. Like, if this pumps from here, I'll be completely in disbelief. I'll put my hand up. But the TA says that we're still bearish structure, but could be signs of life. So keep your wits about you. Don't go all in yet. You start getting up here, sure. Don't go all in, but I mean, increase your size. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, if you're prepared to say, there's the whole dollar cost averaging thing for investing, but there's also dollar cost averaging for trading. Right? You can start your position. If you're going to risk 1% of your account and it's like $1,000 or something, like your size ends up being $1,000, then put in $100 here, and then another $100, and then another $100 as it starts to go up or down, and then you'll get an average entry in, rather than just going all in here. Price comes down, and then you get stopped out, and then it moons. Right? The amount of times that's happened is, I've lost count. So, but yeah, so the volume's up, which is good. All right, hope that was helpful. Give you guys an alternative view from your own. I'll talk to you in the next one.